Coming to you from the all-new Live House in Hollywood, California.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Pensado's Place. Joe Lamont and Pete Johnson join us from NAMM to talk about the Tech Awards and Believe in Music Week. But first, we've got the next three winners in the Pensado's Place Ultimate Vocal Contest brought to you by Auto-Tune. Drum roll, please. The winners are Richard Stephen, congratulations. Philip Robert, congratulations. And Clinton Obiano, congratulations to all three of you. And now for the rest of you, enter for the grand prize. We'll be announcing that next week. What do you get in the grand prize? Of course, you get Auto-Tune Unlimited. You get an hour session with emerging star engineer Quentin Q. Gilkey. I'm telling you, this is a bad boy. He's worked with Eminem, Anderson .Paak, Dr. Dre, bunch of folks. You'll get the AKG C314 mic, which is a great piece of gear, and you'll come on Pensado's Place so Dave and I can talk to you. To enter, go to news.autotune.com/Pensados. So all you got to do, get in there, let me announce your name next week as a grand prize winner. Also, check out our buddies at Warm Audio. They're having their holiday sale, $200 off all kinds of their gear at dealers all over the country. Warm's got great stuff. You should do that right away. We've also decided to do Pensado's 12 Days of Christmas. 12 winners are going to be announced on Christmas Day. And what's in Santa's bag? Plugins from Mike Dean, plugins from DJ Swivel, plugins from Dave Pensado, plugins from Leapwing. So enter at the URL right below here and make sure you be a winner for Pensado's 12 Days of Christmas. Want to give a shout out to our dear friend Chris Lord-Alge, his brother Tom, and the rest of his family on the passing of their mom, Vivian Alge. She was a wonderful creative talent, a beautiful spirit. I got to know her well. We honored her at Pensado Awards 4 for her birthday, arranged for Roland to give her a keyboard. An amazing lady. Obviously, her legacy goes on inside her children and how they carry on. But as somebody who got to know her pretty well, she's a sweet spirit and heaven has been made better. Rest in paradise, and we love you. So for the rest of you, if you want to get in contact with us, hit us on our socials, like and subscribe, sign up for our newsletter. We'd appreciate it. And now, without further ado, some great friends of ours, the CEO and president of NAMM, Joe Lamont, and the guy that makes the Tech Awards happen, Pete Johnson. Enjoy our conversation. We're here because if you're in music in any shape, form, or fashion, a vendor, an artist, a producer, an executive, you need to be involved with NAMM and everything they do. And they have approached the challenges of a COVID era approach to an event in a way that we want to share with you. We're excited about it. So welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah. I'll be second fiddle to Pete any day. Let's do this. All right.
So we all second. We are the Pete Johnson.
Okay.
Couple things we want to unpack. The Believe in Music Week for sure, and the Tech Awards as well. Joe, give us the overview of Believe in Music Week. I think the approach is brilliant, and share with our audience.
Well, you've been so kind, both Herb and Dave, to let us talk about this. This has been an absolute catastrophic year, right? There's no way to put this in any other way. And our hearts go out to all those who have been impacted. Some of our dearest friends, parts of the industry that we just hold dear, live music events, and even the NAMM show fell, to this, but this will pass. Right? This will pass. And sooner than later, we will all be back together again. It's what we do as humans and as creators and artistic people. We gather. But we don't want to wait that long. We knew we had to do something to bring, all of us together. So we created Believe in Music during what would have been our week in Anaheim for NAMM show, and tried to take the best bits of what we do in Anaheim, marketplace for new products to be launched, education for all segments of the industry. However you found your way to make your living, we're always trying to improve and grow. And then the fun parts, part of like what you do with Pensado's Place. So we'll have 2 days of live broadcasting where we'll be celebrating, our industry heroes and the people in the industry who are making great, contributions, and also celebrating the heritage of music making and some of the charitable organizations that are really helping push music out into our schools, out into our world. Because at the end of the day, we're really about is making music, and we're music education as a right for every child is actually what gets most of all of us here at NAMM and our members out of bed in the morning. How can we help create a more musical world? So we tried to capture those elements of what happens at the NAMM show. Great new products, education to make us all better at what we do, and of course, celebrating music education, live music, bringing music to the world. So it's virtual. It's just, it's not the same, right? I mean, I love these tools. This is great. Where would we be without these virtual tools? But man, there's nothing like
having
walking onto that campus. I know I'm excited about this, and I am, but God, I miss the NAMM show. So,
hey, Joe, I'm not going to lie. Well, maybe a little, but I was really, really bummed out because NAMM for me is my vacation in the year. It's the part of the year I look forward to even more than Christmas. It's the part of the year that I like to see old friends and meet new ones. And I did a little bit of a deep dive into how NAMM is going to be executed. I won't go into all the details, but I want to just say anyone that's tentative about coming online and using this year, I think it's going to be in some ways even better than live NAMM, because you've got a great platform in Swap Card, and like I said, I'm not going into details, but you will be able to talk to your friends, you will be able to talk to vendors, you will be able to get information, and so I wanted to just say, in a very selfish way, thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend.
Well, it's a startup, right? And we're moving fast. I mean, there's programmers down the hall right now building this thing out. We're moving fast. We're making mistakes. We're fixing the mistakes, and we're moving on. And that's really what we're learning here, right? And all of us had to do that this year. We moved fast. We made mistakes. We fixed them, and we moved on. That's the lesson.
That's one of the beauties that I think for our audience around the globe. One, here's a chance if you couldn't ever get to Anaheim to be involved.
Yeah.
Two, the way they are thinking about it, I've gotten to know the guys at NAMM pretty well. And as big as this organization is and as big of a business they run, these are musicians who love musicians and artists and continue to play and produce. And it's that ethos is in everything they do. So you want to be part of this. They are literally creating a social network with this Believe in Music Week. It's not the same as old NAMM. This is a new thing to do. And what makes it successful is participation. They're going to have Believe in Music TV. There's education stuff. Artists are going to perform, live streaming, a global marketplace. This is the one spot that is saying to the world of musicians and artistry, come together. I was going to go right now, faithfully, but I don't want to do the lyrics. But
don't sing, please. Do not sing.
Have some scholarships for singing. That's what's crazy. We'll talk about this another time. But this is truly an opportunity that you don't want to miss, and you want to lend yourself to. You can learn things, find opportunities, find product, get new things coming down, find out about technology. They've really thought this through. They're humble about it, but I'll humble brag for them. Let me switch gears really quickly, because we have participated in what I think in the audio space is the premier, and I say that as somebody who has an award show, as the premier award show ever. And the guy that has put it together forever, Pete Johnson. What year is this one, Pete, and how does this one work?
This is going to be one for the books. It's the 36th year of the Tech Awards coming up, and we've got 35 years of legacy to continue to build on. We've got, it's interesting because we've got half of our industry, the live part is really suffering right now, but we've got another part of our industry that's doing very well. And that's a good chunk of the tech awards and home recording and pro audio. So there's a lot of great products to celebrate, and we felt like it was relevant. Let's let the show go on. We need to celebrate these products. We need to talk about them and keep it going. And you brought up an interesting point about this whole Believe in Music platform. The exciting thing about it for us this year is, we've got a lot of retailers that normally only bring 2 or 3 people to the show. This year, they can bring their whole staff. They can get everybody involved. So, if we accentuate those positives, yes, it's not going to be like a live environment, live show that we all know and love, but people will have an opportunity to see inside of NAMM that never have before. So that part's exciting to me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that we're going to put up the nominees this year. Now, the voting period for the Tech Awards, that's coming up. What's the status of that?
Yes. So the voting ends on December 31st. The nominees have all been announced, and you can see those on the Tech Awards site now. Voting is happening. That'll end on the 31st. We're going to air the Tech Awards the Friday, the 22nd. So we'll announce the winners then. We'll have a spot on our platform for the Tech Awards, a homepage. We'll also integrate it into our main Believe in Music TV channel as well.
And if you figure out how to give them their award virtually, I'm down. That's some next level stuff.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. We've got, the problem, the challenge with Tech Awards is we've got 27, 28 categories to hand out. So handing those out live virtually is going to be a tough nut to crack, but we'll figure out something fun to do with that for sure. And
my buddy Reggie Hudlin produced the Emmys, had a big partner in ABC Television, and they had hazmated delivery people outside of people who could win, and they came to the door once they were announced and handed it to them. Yeah. I don't even think about what the cost of that is. I can see, Joe, we're not going to go there. So
well, I know that the Top 100 Dealer Awards, which is happening also during the week of Believe, we're going to be live streaming each of the nominations for these major categories, and it'll be like those in the stores, right? The stores will all be around, and if they win, hopefully they'll explode, with glee. But the other ones will be like, but we'll be filming live from all those. But those are only 5 categories, so it's an easier job than what Pete has ahead of him. But.
Wow. And for people to sign up, they just go to the website?
This was something we just felt we needed to do for everybody, and it's free. And, so all this education, whether it's NAMU, Tech Tracks, AES, ESTA, Event Safety Alliance, all these great educational tracks are all offered for free. So all you do is register. It's just simple. And so we do want to widen the net this time too. There's going to be music educators involved. The artists can come, the idea of NAMM is it's generally difficult to get a badge. You have to know somebody. You have to have an invitation to get in. This one's wide open, and we want to extend that family. We may have 10,000 guitar players in Japan signing up for the first time that want to see some of this stuff. So it's cool. Yeah. And again, Pete's being modest, but when you have an award show where you're honoring Joni Mitchell or some of the other great Les Paul Award winners we've had, this is big stuff for us. And you hit on the fact that we're all just a bunch of passionate kid musicians, but boy, these things like the Tech Awards are just, it's so important to us to honor our heroes and to honor you guys this past year. This is big stuff for us, and we're just grateful for the opportunity to do it. And Pete, you do it. No one does it as well as Pete does. It's just fascinating to see what he does. Yeah.
Hey,
thank you. I feel like I'm playing hooky every day, so thank you.
I'm jealous of Pete, and I'm sorry, Dave. I just want real quickly, because obviously we've done the Pensado Awards in the past, and we're talking. You and I, we're all talking together about what happens in the future. So I sort of understand intuitively Pete's pain, and literally it's a year-long undertaking, and then afterwards you need about 2 months to detox. And Pete nails it every year in a really expansive way, and with from dinner to planning to execution to production, it is really. And for us, I know Dave agrees with this. Being inducted into the Tech Hall of Fame ranks as high as anything we've ever done. Dave, you agree?
Yeah, in fact, I got worried because the word on the street was you and I might have to loan our awards to this year's award recipient so that they could have something to hold.
Yeah, we're a little short this year, if you don't mind.
Ain't gonna happen, Joe and Pete.
No problem. I broke one, so
Yeah,
That's right.
guys. This is a little bit of a non sequitur, but I truly, truly, truly love going to the library tab on your website. I live there, and in this week particularly for obvious reasons with Bruce and everything. But how is the live performances going to work? Are they going to be like a tiny desk performance at PBS, or are you going to have them? Are they renting a facility? Are we going to be miking Are we going to be hearing the PA system, or are we?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think one of the things we talked about last time I was on was, what do you get to do when you're freed up from time and space? Now we have the ability to do some pre-recorded musical interludes, and then we also want to capture some of that live stuff. So it's going to be a mix. We've retained a studio for the week of, but we'll also be preparing, like we're working with Garth Brooks. I'm going to give him one of the NAM's highest awards about his philanthropy and work in music education. And we were talking today about whether we tape or whether we do it live. And I said, boy, I just sure like live. And so for that segment, we're going to do it live. Yes, something could fall apart and you could lose a connection. But I think that spontaneity, others will do recorded. And I just think there'll be music infused in this whole week. Breakouts to different segments will go from music, and like Breakfast of Champions, the morning sessions we have at the show always start with great music. Whatever we do that week, there's going to be musical interludes throughout it all, partially pre-recorded, but I'm going to push for as much live as possible, especially some of these things are coming in from around the world. We'll have broadcasting from Germany. We'll have broadcasting from Japan. We'll have broadcasting from South America. So we are actually going to create this kind of network of our members around the world, adding content to us. But so some of that's going to have to be pre-recorded just because of time lapse. But I think the more we can do live, the better. That's our goal.
I think that is super exciting. I wouldn't be surprised in the future if there's some component of this that is also part of the going forward NAMM show. Obviously, it has to make economic sense, but the ability to bring people together and make that network big and spread that connective tissue, that's pretty impressive.
You think about how this has changed our world, and there are some things that won't change, right? Fundamentally, music has been more important now than ever. I think as humans, our desire to gather is more important than ever. But the technology is going to allow us to, kind of create this larger ecosystem of all of us who are involved in music, from those who teach, beginner fourth grade band, to those who are involved in touring, live music. On the NAMM side, the manufacturers, the distributors, the retailers, the students coming up that we want to recruit into our world. All these people are integral to the success of it. And when you talk about what's special about the Tech Awards, it's that room full of people. It's those people that are in the room. They're making it happen. They're making these big decisions. So when I think of the NAMM ecosystem, it's the people in the room, those who are making it happen, bringing music to the world. And if we have any small little part of helping put that together and glue it all together, I mean, that's just life's work, right? I mean, and the reality, everyone is important. I'm meeting in another couple hours. I'm doing a Zoom cast with 30 up and coming students who we would have normally paid to go to the show on this internship. Well, I'm going to meet with them individually. They're all going to be future leaders of this business. They're juniors and seniors in college. They're now going to be groomed into this, look, you have a place here. We welcome you. This is your place. You decide whether you want to be in the studio, on the road, designing the next, great instrument. Anyway, just really trying to glue all this together. And again, that's what you guys do with your show. It's what the NAMM show is, bringing all these people together and saying, you know what, we may not fit in everywhere. We fit in right here. And this is your home.
It's a great point, Joe. And I want to speak to our audience really quickly and say this, that for the number of years that we've worked closely with NAMM, whether we appeared there or done whatever, we've gotten to know them really well. Their commitment to being inclusive of where you are, doesn't matter what genre you're in, doesn't matter what age you're in. This is something you need to be part of because they are now, their arms are open to embracing you. We've talked to a lot of the talent that comes on this show that we're blessed with, and every one of them want to participate now. And that wasn't always the case when I first started. They didn't know sometimes if they were connected or if they were part of it. Different thing now, that vibe of, yeah, I see Ali there, and I see this one there, and I see these different connected people, and I see Dave and Herb, and so I'm saying to our audience, and not only to our NAM family, we've got a list of talent that wants to be engaged, and we highly, highly, highly recommend for you to be involved in it, because you're going to become better from being part of NAM. You're going to learn more, you're going to meet people, you're going to get better tools, you're going to make relationships that could turn into job opportunities. Only somebody not smart would be not part of this. So,
Dave, that's saying all that, but I mean, don't forget that we're pretty, exclusive. We're pretty sophisticated people. I mean, I don't want to interrupt with my lunch with my juice box or my peanut butter sandwich.
Exactly.
This is executive living. This is what we do here. This is the type of, you elevate to this level. I don't run that one short if you don't mind. I just want to make sure that people realize who they're dealing with here. This is big. This is big stuff.
The peanut butter is triple layer and has peanuts in it. It's next level stuff here.
This is exclusivity at its height. This is just hypocrisy at its height. We speak a good game, but really we're kind of, recognize that.
Have a rich cracker.
Recognize that, if you will.
For me, I selfishly believe that NAM was done for me. And I'm sure that's I think,
it was. Yeah.
I've been going to NAM for probably years, and I started when I was living in Atlanta, and that was in the 80s. And then I've seen Summer NAM grow from a small little thing to now it's my second favorite NAM, and it's actually catching up pretty quick. Yeah. And so my question is, what are the odds of us being able to go somewhere for Summer NAM as opposed to doing it the way we're doing it, which I'm very happy with.
To answer your question directly, it's on until it's off. Right. I mean, we are full speed ahead in planning. The facility, they did the CMAs there last week. That same place we do our show. They were smart. They got a little, whether it was totally done right with COVID restrictions or not. But think about the vaccines that have been announced that are coming, the treatments that are changing, how we deal with COVID. I think by next summer, and again, that was my earlier point, that this will pass. And, leadership right now is about thinking past this, where a lot of people are hunkered down and not thinking about anything that, other than, no, this is about planning for what's next. So I think we're going to have potentially one of the biggest family reunions in Nashville we've ever had. Now, if things change, we will make smart decisions. We don't want anyone to be in jeopardy by coming to a NAM show for sure. But right now it is on until it's off.
What are some of the important policies? I'd like people to know how engaged you are in the political system and how you fight for us on multiple levels. And what is something that's on the table right now that you could maybe use this platform to get some support for? Yeah,
the initial lobbying when everything shut down was really to try and get the gig workers involved in the federal support, the COVID relief bills. And so that was really important, both small businesses and individuals who sometimes fell outside of it. So our lobbying was very, very heavy on helping our members not only access PPP, but, go through the process of how to get it. Bring us now to later in the year where that has now been exhausted and most people are still not back at work. And we have been in DC up through the election trying to make sure that there should be another relief bill shortly, if not before the inauguration, that it includes our industry, that we make sure our members get another bite of that PPP support, making sure that the venue, it's funny how many different people are kind of lobbying for different support for different segments, the venues, the gig workers, there's really kind of a little bit of herding cats out there. And for us, we've learned that to work in partnerships is much more an effective strategy in Washington. So working with our lobbyists, working with the different segments, Michael Strickland at Bandit Lights has been great with the live scene. He has been, he's become a lobbyist, for the whole industry by volunteering. But trying to make sure that this next round of support gets to our industry, gets to our individual gig workers, and gets to our small businesses. NAMM and most of the people affiliated with us are small businesses, less than 10 employees. And we got to make sure that they get the support they need till we can get to the other side and open up.
Great work. Great work.
Yeah.
And great answer.
Thank you.
A couple of things I just want to kind of get macro perspective of, and you may have touched on some of them from both of you. For 2020, the biggest detrimental impact has been what?
Pete, I'll jump in if you don't mind, and you can add whatever. I mean, I do a monthly dashboard for our board. It's got our financials, all the numbers, and I write a letter with each of the dashboards, and I just put it out on Monday. And I included last November's dashboard just as a time capsule. And at that moment, we were like within 1% of sell out of the NAMM show. We were hitting all, and I had just gotten back from Japan and see members. It was just one of those like, was this 2019 or was this like, 50 years ago? It was just such an interesting. So when you ask what's changed this year, it's just how quickly everything changed. We left January euphorically thinking 2020 would be a great year for the industry. So how much things changed overnight is probably the greatest lesson, for especially the younger people who, us grizzled veterans, we've been through several of these cycles, nothing like this for sure. But I think it's the knowledge of how quickly things can change and how grateful we should remind ourselves to be in the normal times. So
you think about it, NAMM Show's been, we've been in the business of gathering people for 119 years. And now all of a sudden we don't get to do that. So we're working, we joke, the internal joke is we're all at a 120-year-old startup company right now. So we've had to take what we know of the NAMM Show and reinvent it. And we've got all the challenges of a startup company. I mean, we are running in a million different directions trying to figure this out. But what I'm enjoying about it is that entrepreneurial spirit now that we can kind of infuse into NAMM. And you mentioned it earlier. What's it going to look like when we come out of this on the other end? I think some of the things that we're doing now will stay around. And I think our ability to reach the world on a yearly level, as opposed to just those weeks in January. If we have something like Believe in Music TV that we can continue to inspire people all through the year. One of my favorite things about coming home from the NAMM Show is I'm always fired up and inspired to make music. I come home, I buy another piece of gear, I start writing music, I do stuff. I'm inspired, I'm fired up. So if we can stretch that out with a virtual offering of some kind that keep people inspired and keep them fueled for what we do. I mean, our inspiration, our business is about passion and inspiration, right? So that's our job in a lot of ways, is to keep that going. So I think we turn the detrimental things. We can't have a physical show, but I think there's going to be some upside to that as we learn and as we come out. We'll come back with a physical show. There's no doubt. I think people will be yearning to gather again, and especially for music. I think music's unique to any other type of industry where music in itself is a gathering of people. It brings you together, so I'm excited about that part of it.
Some ideas for you on that Believe in Music TV year-round thing. Trust me.
Maybe on to something there,
We will be having a conversation. Now, on the other side of that, for your audience and our audience, give them some advice on, is it be optimistic? Is it hang in there?
There's a really smart businessman in this world who told me once something, what is your infinite truth? That was a question. It was a challenge. What is your infinite truth? And that's for us. And I think all of us, it's music. It is the intrinsic value of music in this world. And so when you really focus on your infinite truth, that withstands years like this. It just transcends years like this. So I would encourage everyone, grizzled veteran to someone who's just watching, contemplating coming into this business because they have a passion for it. Zero in on your infinite truth. And that is your key to getting past any obstacle and enjoying maybe the best life you could ever have. If you understand your infinite truth and don't cut corners, don't ever try and, stay with it through your life, you can look back on your life and say, I lived a good life. Focus on your infinite truth.
Baby, that's a mic drop. See, that's what high-end peanut butter will do for you.
I need a nap after that one. Jeez.
I'm telling you, I'm so fired up. I don't even make music, but I'm gonna go out and make some music.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, and audience, this is why Dave and I are so passionate about NAMM. We talk about it when it's not NAMM time. I call it Dave's Super Bowl. And it's a chance for him to roll around and get all the Dave Pensado-ness that you can get. And it's been so good for us, so good for our platform. We've been happy to introduce people into it. It is very competitive for us when we do Zach stuff and all the other kinds of things. We want the most crowded room. We want the longest line outside trying to get in. And what we find is whoever we ask, they want to share immediately and give back. And that spirit comes from the gentleman that you are meeting in the Zoom, which you should get to know well. Believe in Music Week is coming up. We're going to be back to you with updates regularly and consistently. We want you to join. This is your opportunity to get through this. And let's say one other thing, and just in closing. It is important to communicate and collaborate when you're isolated. Mental health is a big part of what's going on here. And the way you get through that is by sharing. And when you can connect into a community that accepts you, that wants you, that takes you all comers, take advantage of that. It is going to help get us through things. All of us are vulnerable to what's going on. And to act like we're not is to ignore the obvious. So here's a great community. Music makers, spread globally. We're partners, lots of brands. Let's do this. Joe and Pete, we love you, man.
We love you back, Herb. Dave, thank you so much.